Mm. This is the moment of the day that I look forward to all day. Like, I'm already looking forward to this moment for tomorrow. But today, we're today. And so let's live the present moment. Today is November 10th. And it's day 103 of my 90-day challenge. And I sound like I have a really bad cold, but it's some kind of allergy thing. So it's going to be gronky this morning. But we're going to have a lot of fun. Because it's time to do the morning crypto. Start the music. All right. So Bitcoin is having a sweet little retracement here. This is not yet a bearish signal. I doubt that it's going to be bearish. However, there are quite a few of us who are looking at $6,500 as the place to start buying Bitcoin again. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But before we do all the charts, I want to just check the news and see what's going on. When I went to bed, it was like, I think 72 or 7,300. So some stuff has happened while I was asleep. And Bitcoin cash price evidently is being pumped. And it is highly inaccurate to describe Bitcoin as a bubble. And I've been wanting to say some stuff about this, so I've been looking at exponential curves of a lot of different things, and I'm convinced Bitcoin is not in a bubble. That it's actually at that tipping point, right where an exponential curve of adoption happens. So we're going to look at some of that and see what this guy has to say. Let's see. Tesla, Amazon, Bitcoin bubbles. Many public figures, blah, 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 blah. Okay, a lot of people have called it a bubble. Bitcoin is not a bubble, contrary to the dishonest and non-factual claims of bank executives. There was a bubble in Bitcoin in 2013 when the demand for Bitcoin rose to a point where the market could no longer support it and the price crashed from 1,300 to 200. But it's not accurate to call Bitcoin itself a bubble the same way it's not accurate to describe Amazon or Tesla a bubble, which is what I've been saying. I've been saying this. Even up until April of last year, analysts described Tesla's exponential increase in value as a bubble, as analysts did with Amazon throughout the company's 20 years of existence. 6 months ago, Matthew DeBoer, the transportation editor at Business Insider, wrote, "At this point, a Tesla bubble looks obvious, and it looks as obvious as it has since earlier this year. The difference now is that it's grown so large that it's become terrifying." And the thing is with Tesla, I mean, I bought one share of stock in Tesla because fundamentally they're providing a revolutionary service that is literally going to change the world. Sound familiar? Right? We need to get away from the internal combustion engine. We need to get away from fossil fuels. And Elon Musk and Tesla are like the only people that have really gone for it. And that you find that in every sector of the economy. The innovation does not come from within an established big business like the auto industry. They could never get out from under the connections and the pressure they have to the oil industry, right? So anyway, another expert stated Tesla is in a bubble that will not pop anytime soon, but it's a bubble, right? It's important to acknowledge this trend in any emerging company. Technology and startup analysts and experts are quick to claim that anything is a bubble, giving its rapid increase in value and exponential growth rate. And that's the key here, exponential growth rate. You can look at this in everything from viruses to population growth to new technologies being adopted. There's always an exponential curve. There's a YouTuber named Elliot Hulse who is a fitness guy, and he's also kind of a spiritual warrior guy. And one of my mentors is friends with him and said that basically, yeah, he did YouTube. His YouTube channel went like this just for years, and then all of a sudden it spiked, and within a very short time he had over 1 million subscribers. So this process is something inherent in the universe. It's not just stuck in the financial world, right? So from 2013 to 2017, the price of Tesla has increased from around 20 to 302, with many minor and major corrections. In December, the price of shares dropped over $100. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I bought a share at $350, right? They're beginning to deliver. So anyway, as Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak observed, Bitcoin is more legitimate and transparent than most systems in existence today. He noted at a Money 2020 conference, there is a certain finite amount of Bitcoin that can ever exist. Gold gets mined and mined and mined. Maybe there's a finite amount of gold in the world, but Bitcoin is even more mathematical and regulated, and nobody can change mathematics. I like that. That's pretty cool. So I will, in a future video, talk a lot more about exponential curves, because I've actually been researching that. My girlfriend is an epidemiologist, and just over the weekend I said, can you show me some exponential curves that aren't in the financial world? And she was like, yeah, just go to Google. Just go to Google and Google exponential curves, you know? And you know what? We're talking about it. Let's do it. If it's too long and boring, I will edit it out. So exponential curves. Let's see if we come up with some images. All right, so exponential curves. Let's see. Yeah, the exponential curve. Okay. This is good. Deception of exponential growth. How actual change behaves, how you think change behaves, right? Disappointment, disappointment, disappointment. Oh, chaos, disruption, amazement. No, it's like zoop. So, let's see what some of these other are. So feels gradual, then feels sudden. So really that's what we're experiencing, is that something that seemed to be gradual is suddenly sudden. And it shows up in a lot of different places. So I don't want to keep you on the hook for the charts here. So anyway, I'm going to do more research into that. But that to me really helped me to understand, you know, if you pull back the big picture of Bitcoin, you know, it's a classic exponential curve. But the question is, if you're too close to it, you think that, you know, you're at the top and it's never going to keep going. But the factor is, such a small percentage of the world's population has even heard of this. I mean, think about that. And it's not really user-friendly to the point where it's going to be in, let's say, 2, 3, 5 years. So I'm looking at, you know, you might want to say when 50% of the world owns Bitcoin, you might start talking about a bubble. But when 0.5% of the world owns Bitcoin, and people all over the world are coming to it, and countries like Venezuela and Zimbabwe and other places where the currencies are just crap, and people, the only thing they have is Bitcoin and then other cryptocurrencies, and we're in actual massive bubbles in stocks, bonds, real estate, you name it, and the central banks just keep printing more money, and the dollar is losing value every year, and the world is intertwined globally like never before. So if something happens on Wall Street, it's going to affect the entire world. And this whole thing of derivatives that brought us down in 2007 and 2008, and I didn't have this when I did my original recording this morning, so I want to just drop this right in before we get to the charts. And this is on the visualcapitalist.com, and I'll leave the link. I'll put the link below the video. And this particular chart is comparing the world's money and markets, right? So each square this size is worth $100 billion, okay? So here we go. Silver, it's one little square. Cryptocurrency, it's like 3 little squares. Biggest companies: Berkshire Hathaway, Microsoft, Alphabet, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. 50 richest people: California's GDP, the Fed's balance sheet, currency, gold, stock markets. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting. Global money supply, global debt. Does that scare you? Global real estate. Okay. Derivatives. This is what I wanted to show you. Here's the chart with derivatives. Low end estimate. Okay. So when they say Bitcoin's in a bubble, tell me that derivatives aren't a bubble. This is what caused the 2008 crash. Okay. Derivatives, people. Look at that. All right. So now let's get back to where I was, and I will definitely give you the link. I'm copying it right now. I'm going to actually paste it right into the video and also below the video. All right, now back to where I was before I did this. is still the monster that no one's looking at, and it dwarfs Bitcoin. It literally makes Bitcoin look like a tiny little kid compared to a giant, right? It's like, and I have some charts that I found on that stuff, which is pretty fascinating too. But I just want to, so what I'm trying to say here is that I think personally, there are so many fundamental reasons why Bitcoin is just beginning, really is just getting going. And that the people that are calling it a bubble are the people that want it to fail, not people who are making accurate statements. Does that make sense? So anyway, that's my my spiel, and I forgot to drink my coffee. I got so involved in that. All right. So I am pleased, actually, that Bitcoin is doing a little bit of a consolidational move here. And I fully expect it at some point to come back to this level of support around 6,000. But if it comes back, damn you, little line. Okay, if it comes back to 65, I will definitely start getting me some Bitcoin, because I think it is going to 10. That's what I'm thinking. And again, it may not go directly. It may come back first a bit, but we have a serious amount of support here. So that's where I'm looking, probably 6,000. If you really want to get a bargain, you want to put some orders in if you're a trader. If you're an investor, you might want to consider dollar cost averaging. And again, this is not to be construed as financial advice. This is still me. I was doing dollar cost averaging here because I was preparing for the hard fork and I needed to get some Bitcoin. I do get like 10 or 12 bucks every day from my Genesis mining contract. But I wanted to have enough Bitcoin so that if I got free coins, it was going to do something, because I totally missed that boat back in the Bitcoin Cash fork. So anyway, I try to take a long-term view, so hopefully you guys are as well. I think this is really healthy, because we got really very steep, very, very steep. And these pauses are really powerful, hypnotic pieces of cultural consolidation where people get used to a certain price. It's just happening faster in Bitcoin than it's happening, let's say, with the US dollar. And the problem is it's going the other direction with the US dollar. Our US dollar is worth less every year, 2 to 3%. And that's just the obvious. There's also, in other increasing costs that kind of take your money away, like taxes and things like that. So anyway, let's look at Bitcoin Cash. Evidently, Bitcoin Cash is a happy little puppy. Yeah, we have a boost in Bitcoin Cash. And it's really interesting because I didn't expect this, and it's the things you don't expect. However, back here when I was making a sideways channel, you guys can just go back to my videos and see that I was going, yeah, it looks like a good buy opportunity. If I had actually gotten down off my high horse and said, hey, a buying opportunity is a buying opportunity, whether I believe in the project or not, I could have made some serious money. However, that's not how I work. I have to actually, I'm a kind of fundamental and technical trader, and I have to really believe in a project. Otherwise, I don't get the good feeling in my body that I look for when I make a good decision. Does that make sense? All right. So, all right, Bitcoin Cash is boosting. If you guys got some of that, good for you, man. Some of you guys were telling me that it was good, and I listened, but I can't do everything, right? But it is definitely worth keeping an eye on. Dash 339 looking good. I'm liking it. Keep going, Dash. Let's see what's going on with EOS against the US dollar. We had a boost, then a little pullback, and a little boost, and a little pullback. And I think it's really, really early for EOS. We're at $1.09 at this point. And the thing I want to always say, and I'll repeat this like a mantra, not just for you, but for me as well, that there are always more opportunities. There's always more opportunities. And so don't regret missing. Just go, okay, what else is there? Where is there an opportunity now? Where is it quiet? And where is nobody paying attention so that I can get in low, but then it's going to boost, right? That's really where we're trying to predict the future in some ways. And it's good to hedge your bets. All right, Ethereum. So Ethereum's given back a little bit, but I still think it's possible we are going to break significantly out of this just interminable sideways range that it's been in. And again, I love the sideways range because you got support. Boom. You got a ton of support here. So to me, that limits the downside risk, although there's always downside risk with these cryptos. But the downside risk with Ethereum is way lower than it is with Bitcoin. Bitcoin literally could drop to $1,000. It won't, but it's really volatile. Like it moved $1,000 the other day. It went almost to 8 and it came back to 7. Then it went back up to 5. Then it came back to 7. Then it went up to 3. Now it's back down to 68 or something, right? If you're trading, Bitcoin is your friend. You could literally trade Bitcoin every day and make money if you know what you're doing. But that takes skill. It takes time. It takes focus and attention. And a lot of us, particularly those of us starting out in this space, we have other jobs. Usually, we have other things we're doing. However, I think more and more actual professional traders are going to be coming into the space because the returns are just too good for them to pass up, and everything else is at record highs. And to get back to Tesla, I think $350 for a share of Tesla is going to look cheap in retrospect. But it's a project I believe in, and we have to do something to protect the planet. And it's kind of like the SegWit 2X people really wanted to improve Bitcoin, and they wanted to kind of improve it faster than it's kind of being improved. But ultimately, if they destroyed Bitcoin, they would be harming themselves. And so they pulled back, they stopped. And I thought that was significant in light of the fact that we are living on a planet that is finite. And if we just keep tearing it apart, it's going to hurt everybody. It's going to hurt me. It's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt Donald Trump. It's going to hurt everybody, even the people that are in denial that we are destroying this tiny little spaceship that we're traveling through Earth on, right? So, yeah. Anyway, I think Ethereum's looking good. If it pulls back, I mean, it's already kind of below the line, but if it pulls back to 300 or below, get some more. And again, that's a suggestion to myself as well as anyone who wants to listen and take responsibility for making your decisions in your portfolio in your way. But that's what I'm seeing. I still like Ethereum. I still think it's undervalued. I just wouldn't necessarily buy it as it's about to boost. If it comes back a little bit, I'm going to get another little chunk. See what IOTA's doing. IOTA, it boosted and came back a little bit. And again, it's still early in that project. Litecoin boosted and came back a little bit. Although this boost, I think, could be good. It didn't even come near testing the $70 resistance point. So I'm going to draw a line. I've been having to reboot my computer a lot lately, so my lines disappear. But that's, for a lot of people, there are a lot of sell stops at 70, right? So the whales bring it up and then they drop it back down, as far as I understand. But Litecoin is still rising, right? It is rising. And it is the safest, most predictable of the major altcoins, in my view. And this is the place where I might take profits. But we'll see. Okay. Neo. Man, come on, chart. What's going on? I don't know if it's the internet or my computer. My computer's been really sluggish lately. And again, Neo had a boost, and it's kind of testing this level here. We'll see. I have a feeling things are going to quiet down over the weekend because there's been so much intensity. I think people are going to take the weekend off, but we'll see. I won't. I'm around. Let's do Omise Go against the US dollar. We have the boost and we have a little comeback. I really like the boost in Monero. And just so you see where the boost was. We had support and resistance all in the same place. And it definitely has broken out. Whether it can maintain it, whether we're on a big new move or not, or whether this is just temporary, I don't know. But I'm thinking long term, certainly on Monero. I only have one, and so I don't have that much attachment to it. But having one makes me interested. Civic. I have some Civic, and not really in the money at the moment against Bitcoin. And Ethereum's not looking that good against Ethereum. But again, early in the project. Omise Go. We already did that. Quantum against Bitcoin. Quantum's looking pretty good against Bitcoin. Not bad. Quantum against Ethereum. Not too bad. Quantum against Ethereum. And I think that's it for now, people. Those are the ones I'm following, and I'm looking at some new ones. And so we're going to see this weekend. My girlfriend's going away, and I'm just going to spend a lot of time just researching and reading and listening to what people have to say about some of the new altcoins, and I'll be covering those next week as soon as I have something intelligent to say about them. And so that's it for Friday morning, November 10th, day 103 of my 90-day challenge. And I want to thank you guys. Some new subscribers showed up, and you guys have been leaving great comments, and I appreciate it. If you've watched this far and you're one of my regulars, I have a question I want to ask you. If you could just leave it in the comment section below, and that is, are you an introvert? Yes or no? And you can tell me about anything you want, but I just want to know, I kind of have the sense that you guys are introverts. I'm an introvert, and I'm getting ready to kind of add to this particular. I'm going to keep doing this challenge every morning, but I'm kind of gearing up to make my decision about what my next 90-day challenge is going to be, and I have a feeling I'm leaning towards something that I call the Better Man Project, which is really kind of hypnosis and neurolinguistics for introverted men, for shy men who are really kind of missing out on the wonders of being able to converse and connect with women in a healthy, mutually wonderful way. And I think women are missing out on a lot of the great men who may have technical skills, who may be your classic nerds or geeks, and who are somewhat intimidated by, talking to women. And this is something that a lot of my women friends and my girlfriend have even said, Mark, you got to help guys. And a bunch of guys are writing to me. I have courses over on Honest Hypnosis, how to get over a girl, shy guy help, master your mojo. I also have general courses on anxiety and weight loss and all the things that I did as a hypnotherapist before I got hijacked by the cryptos back in February. And I have been taking somewhat of a hiatus from my private practice. But I still have courses, and I keep creating courses. And so if you're interested in that, just check it out at honesthypnosis.com. But let me know, are you an introvert? Are you an introvert? Do you consider yourself an introvert? Yes or no? And an introvert, in case you don't know, is someone who recharges their batteries by themselves or with one other person, or an extrovert is someone who recharges their batteries with other people in groups doing social things. And so those are the two differentiators. And I just have this theory that most of us in the cryptos at this stage are somewhat introverted. And I know my audience is about 95% male. So just want to check in with you guys, find out where you're at and what kinds of things you would like more of from my channel. And I do a lot of different things, and I want to integrate them because I don't think you can separate the money from relationships, from health, from self-worth, and the work we need to do as men to show up in the world on purpose, on a path with heart, making a difference and making a fortune. So that's what I'm thinking about. Let me know what you're thinking about. And I think that's it for today. I will be here tomorrow morning. And then Sunday I'll probably take the day off. But I really appreciate you guys. This has been quite a wild ride this week, hasn't it? Segwit 2X gone. And we'll see what's next. We'll see what's on the horizon. And have an awesome day. Have a great weekend. Peace, grooviness, over and out. If you like this, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Hit that bell. Leave a comment below. And we are going to start the music right now.